there's a lot of bugs in this building.
The truth girls. The truth girls.
Hi everyone. Are you renting an apartment? How's it working out for you?
I got a lot of problems with my fucking landlord.
Do you often feel unsatisfied with the dwelling?
Yeah.
Is it not in good condition?
Well, I got bed bugs in my apartment.
And on top of that, does your landlord jack up your rent every year?
Yeah.
Well, renting an apartment may have its problems, but if you know your rights, you can at least protect yourself from a landlord who's trying to take advantage of you. And that's why landlords hate this video, because the information that I'm about to give you is the last thing they want you to know.
Fuckers.
Just the other day, I ran into a friend who told me that they had to move because they couldn't afford the increase on their rent. What a waste. What a shame. They didn't know their rights. Your lease renews automatically. Most leases automatically renew after a year, but do check your lease just to make sure. Your landlord, if he wants to modify the conditions of the lease, has to send you a notice by registered mail 3 to 6 months before the end of your lease. This is in Quebec, by the way. It may be different in other places. You then have 30 days to respond by registered mail. So what this means is that if he didn't send you a notice, well, he missed his chance. Your lease is automatically renewed at the same price. If you got the registered mail and you don't respond to it, it means legally that you are accepting his notice. You are accepting the new conditions, whatever the amount was that he's requesting for an increase. If you respond within 30 days by registered mail, you have the right to renew your lease but refuse the increase. It's not either or. A lot of people think either I renew my lease and accept the increase or I move, but that's not true. You can renew it but refuse the increase. If you really can't afford to send your notice by registered mail, you do have the option of dropping it off with a sort of little area at the bottom that says sign for receipt, and the landlord would have to sign that he received it. Or you can drop it off in person with a witness. At that point, it's up to your landlord to apply to the rental board and have the rental board set the increase. But I'll tell you something, the amount that the rental board will set as the increase is almost always lower than what your landlord asks for. Here is the website of the Régie du Logement, and I'm sure that wherever you are, they also have a website. So you can go to your rental board website, find out the law in your area, and most likely you can download forms as well. In Quebec, you have a form that the tenant can download, fill out, and send back, notifying the landlord that they either renew the lease and accept the new conditions, which would be the increase, or do not renew the lease, or renew the lease but do not accept the conditions, which would be the increase.
And now he wants to evict me.
Again, the landlord cannot evict you or kick you out in any way for refusing a rent increase, and he really has to give you this notice by registered mail 3 to 6 months before the end of your lease. If he comes up to you with a paper and gets you to sign it, you've agreed to this new contract. So then you're basically screwed if you did that.
Fucker.
So if your landlord shows up at your door with the paper and says sign here, I would just tell him send it to me registered mail.
Yeah.
So that's my advice for you dealing with landlords, how not to get shafted into having 5% rent increases year after year, or thinking that you have to move. Because you know how many people I've met who move every year because they can't afford the increase. They think they have to accept it. So I thought it's important for you to know this. Don't get shafted by your landlord. Know your rights. Go to the rental board website. If you're in Quebec, go to the Régie du Logement website, download the forms, and exercise your rights. So thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.